One thing I don't like in life is lazy people. I can't stand people. They're just lazy. I don't understand. I don't have room for them. I don't have time for them. And I'm not saying that we aren't lazy every now and then because life is hard. There's a lot going on in life, especially when you're driven, when you're trying to, strive to be the best at your job, or you're striving trying to be the best at a business you're running, or a parent. It's a lot. And every now and then we take a break, and the key is just not to be caught up in that break and to be lazy very long. But lazy people drive me nuts because there's no excuse to do something wrong the first time, because it's going to take you more effort to have to go back and do it again. And that's a lesson I learned a long time ago as a young man with my granddad. He's like, just do it. It takes 5 minutes longer to do it right than it does to do it wrong. And you're going to have to go back when you do it wrong and fix it. And it's going to take you even longer. Kind of like tools. I realized at a young age that, spend the money on the good tool because you're just trying to save money. But what happens is you go buy the cheap tool from Harbor Freight, and it ends up breaking, and you have to go buy another one. And by that time, you've already could have bought the expensive tool. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with being lazy. You can do it all you want, but it's going to be a lot harder on you. You're going to be out of shape. You're going to get out of shape. You're going to be unhealthy. You're going to be unproductive. I buy houses from people who make excuses of why their houses is filth, why they're falling down. And I know life gets in the way, but they've been that way their whole life because pure laziness, because they just don't want to get up and clean, or they just don't want to go outside and fix the thing that's wrong. They don't want to pick the trash up because it's just pure laziness. Laziness is a disease, and if you keep it up and you stay that way and you get in that habit of being lazy, it will completely ruin your life. And you will not have good people in your life, if anybody in your life, and you will be making excuses all the time of why you're the way you are, why you're fat, why you're filthy, why you're not, making more money, why you're blaming everyone else for your downfalls. And I think that's why I can't stand lazy people. And I hate to be that way. It's not that I hate them. I don't hate them. I just can't stand them because I know we all have more potential than that. I think I look at it every day. The older I get, the more I live life, the more I strive to be successful. When I go see someone that I know is lazy, you can just tell that, I pray for them to find peace, to find that, because it's a horrible way to live. It's a horrible way to way of life. It's just a horrible way of life. And a lot of people's like, well, they don't know. It's just the way they've been raised. And you're right. Some people are raised that way and they just don't know any different, right? That's kind of like with welfare. Welfare families, they keep every generation because that's all they know. But at one point in life, you have to grow up and be old enough to realize that what you've been doing isn't the right thing, because other people around you is not doing it and they're more successful, or they're cleaner, or they have better things, or they have a better job, because they don't make excuses. They go out and they put in the effort and they make it happen, because that's what you have to do in life. It's hard. It's not easy. It is not easy, but you have to do it if you want to be something in life. If you don't want to be nothing in life, be a lazy piece of shit and do nothing and make excuses and blame everybody. That's on you. That's what you want to do, but don't come around me and don't make excuses whenever I come and buy your house because you just didn't want to clean it or just didn't go to work to pay your bills. We had a property that we seller financed to somebody. They gave us $60,000 to put down on this mobile home that we have. We had to evict them less than a year later. They lost $60,000 because they wouldn't go to work and make their payments. And they've been doing that their whole life. And to not sit there and look yourself in the mirror and realize that something's wrong, that you have to change something, that you have to get off your ass and go to work and be somebody, that's on you. And that's on you. And there's no one else going to change it but you. Nobody can change you but you. Nobody can make you stop drinking but you. Nobody can make you stop doing drugs but you. Nobody can make you unlazy but you. So if you're out there making excuses and you look around and you're unhealthy and you're not working out and your house is filthy or you're not making enough money, look in the effing mirror and see what you're doing wrong. What do you have to change? Because I promise it's you, it's no one else. No matter the circumstances that you was raised in, no matter any of that, it's still you. You can still change. You have time, you have the ability, but you have to put effort and you can't be lazy. And I'm not saying that we don't get lazy. I'm not saying that that successful driven people don't have lazy moments, because we do. It happens. You get exhausted and sometimes you just take a break. But the difference is getting out of that slump and knowing that that's not where you can be, because you can feel it. If you're driven and you want something, you know, whenever it's time to, like, oh crap, I better get up and do something because I can feel it and I'm not feeling very satisfied with the way I'm living right now. You can feel it whenever you're driven. If you're not driven, you're not looking in the mirror. If you're not driven, you're blaming someone else. If you're not driven to do better for yourself, your family, for whatever, then you have to, you may never be driven. You may just be a lazy bastard your whole life. I don't know. But don't make excuses and blame other people and expect other people to change for you, because you don't want to put the effort in, because you want to blame everybody else. And I just know that everybody has potential in this world. I know that everybody has potential in this world. I've seen people with no arms working. I've seen people with handicap working their ass off. Whenever I see people at the street corners begging for money because they just don't want to go work for whatever excuse, whatever reason. They don't want to pay their fine, so they get warrants, so they're running from the law. Right? They don't want to go work at McDonald's, so they'd rather not work because they just don't want to go make minimum wage. Well, guess what? It's better than no wage. And you got to start somewhere. You have to get off your ass. You have to start somewhere. And you just can't make excuses. You gotta get out there and push, and you gotta get unstuck, and you gotta do the things that you don't want to do sometimes, and you gotta do the hard things, and you gotta look yourself in the mirror, and you gotta realize that you have potential. That I truly believe everybody has potential. God gave everybody a purpose in this world, everybody a gift. Everybody is different, but He gave everybody the opportunity. Handicapped, not handicapped, skinny, tall, small, fat, whatever. You have the opportunity to be better. And being lazy is not being better. So get out there. If you know anybody needs to hear this, please share it. Help them, root them on, but don't let them make excuses. Don't let them drag you into it. Let them know that they're worth something, that God created them in His image to be something, and that you can't live for the world but live for Him. And I promise it'll change your life. And I promise you can get out there and you can do whatever it is you need to do to get wherever you want to go. Share, subscribe, like this, please. And remember, change the way you think so you can change your lives. And I'll talk to y'all later.